I've been doing some reflecting on my business and the contribution that I'm making through my business, and how I've got to the point where I'm just doing it. I'm just doing the work without feeling like an imposter, which is what I think everybody feels like when they first set out on a path and when they first step out of the shadows and say, this is who I am and this is what I've got to offer. This is the journey that we can go on if you want to go on this journey with me. The way in which I got out of that state of second guessing myself and worrying what's he going to think, what's she going to think, what am I going to say here, is it perfect, is it ready, all these silly things that come into your head and kind of sabotage you and trip you up and inhibit your movement forward. The thing that really made the biggest difference in me overcoming those obstacles, shall we call them, was just getting out and doing it. Was just doing the work. At one point, I actually started making a list. When I knew in my heart and in my mind that I was supposed to be a mentor in this particular area that I focus on, which is stewardship and escaping the hedonism trap, I absolutely knew, no shadow of a doubt, that that was the work that I was to be doing. My experiences, my skills, everything was just convergent at that particular point. But nevertheless, like everybody else, being a human being, I had these inhibitions, and I would think about, well, what about this and what about that, and all this nonsense, and a lot of it was just absolute nonsense. And so I made this list anyway. I made a massive list about evidence in all different contexts, evidence in favour of me being a mentor in my particular area and doing this business and showing up to make the contribution that I've got to make. It was a bloody long list. And I can't tell you half of what I wrote down on it, to be quite honest. And I can't even tell you when I last looked at the list because it's been that long ago. I don't need the list. What made the biggest difference to me was not a list, but actually doing the work, getting out there and showing up, doing the website, publish, not perfect, published, done. I'm doing the work. I've got the program. I'm telling people about it. And then when people came back to me and said, oh, it's really interesting, Tom, that sounds really useful. Can I take part? Can I be a mentee? I'd like to do this. I'd like to be part of the mentoring program. I would like to go on this journey. This sounds like something that's extremely useful for me. Other people making referrals to others as well. And all of that was all the evidence that I needed. Now, that was at the first base, as it were. That's at the starting point. But then when I started to do the work more and more, and then people were saying, this is so good, this has made such a difference, click, it's all come into place, I've stopped doing this, I've formed new habits, I'm more aligned with who I am, with my own values, I'm doing more of the stuff that I love, making more of a contribution and everything else. That's the magic. That's when you know that you're there and it all aligns in the sense that, yes, you already know in your heart and in your mind that this is what you're supposed to be doing, but all the noise, all the things that come into your head about, well, what does he think, what does she think, disappears. It's silent, it's gone. You don't care about your background on your video being absolutely perfect and pristine, because nobody really cares about that. People don't come to me because they care about the background in my video. They care about getting results. They care about going on a particular journey. They care because they feel a sense of chaos and a sense of disconnection in their lives. And they don't want that anymore. They want a sense of order. They want to be self-governing. They want to feel fulfilled again. They want to feel purposeful. They want to feel like they're achieving something and like their contribution matters in life and that they're well anchored in solid values. That's what they care about. They don't give a monkeys that I'm wearing a tracksuit top and that my bookcase is a little bit messy. They don't care about all that stuff. So if you are one of these people right now who has got some more time, like all of us do to some extent, whether it's evenings, weekends, whatever, and maybe if you've been furloughed, you've got time during the day as well. If you're one of these people who know in your heart and in your mind what it is that you've got to do, but you're hesitating because you're thinking, oh, what's he going to say? What's she going to say? Just do it. If you really want to, you can do what I did and make a list and write down all this evidence, all this logical evidence to convince yourself that it's right for you to do. And that might be a good thing for you to do. I think it did help me to a point, but that's not really what made the difference for me. What really made the difference was getting out there and doing it and then showing up and saying, this is me, This is Tom English. I am a mentor. I mentor in personal transformation, championing stewardship to help people to escape the hedonism trap. That is what I do. When you show up and you get out there and do the work, you will have all the evidence that you need and all the results, and you will not worry about any list whatsoever. So that's my message for today, guys. I hope that helps somebody. I feel really prompted to talk about this right now because I'm sure there's loads of people out there who've got contributions to make and they're holding back because they're too worried about what other people think and they're too worried about it being perfect. It will not be perfect. It will not be perfect, not by a long shot. It doesn't matter how much tinkering you do in the background and however much you do offline, it ain't going to be perfect. You're going to have to iterate. That is just a given. So please, for goodness sake, use this Corona time, as I call it, wisely. Use it courageously. Step out of your comfort zone. Do what you know in here, and here is for you to do, your contribution to make. Take care, everybody, and God bless.